How's it going, guys? My name is Andrew. You're looking at DataLIVE, and this is where we are going to live stream today. We're going to talk a lot about a certain someone who has cracked the algorithm. Which algorithm are we talking about? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned and pay attention. But today, I'm going to say hi to you guys who are watching right now. Let's see. Hector, welcome. Good morning. If you guys have heard of this person, we are talking about the infamous MrBeast. He is known as a philanthropist on the great white web of the intertubes. And what we want to figure out today is how was he able to have defeated the YouTube algorithm. Now, first, that really takes a statistical understanding of what the YouTube algorithm even is. So let's cover it, if you would be so kind to indulge me. So let me turn on this. Oh, look. Ravi says, hey, Andrew, not a fan of MrBeast. Ravi, tell me why. Tell me why. Hector, good morning. So I'm keeping this on the left side so that you guys can see. Oh, I want to see my little bunny thing. Okay, that's fine. All right, so the main point of this story is to, one, drum up some views, which reminds me, I should probably change the tags. Can I even do that? So that MrBeast people show up? But the other half is to, again, ask me any questions that you might have so that I can talk to you about them in data science ways. Hey, Muthu. This, of course, is not the quality of my general DataLIVE videos. This is me talking to you live. So we're chatting, we're having fun, we're talking about a common topic. If you want to see something that I've heavily edited, spent hours creating for academic students and professionals, that is your chance, your God-given duty to go check out the other videos on my channel. But the reason why I have the studio view looking up here is so that you guys can see the live chats that I'm responding to at the same time. I think that makes sense. MrBeast. MrBeast is a YouTuber philanthropist that has very quickly, how quickly has he risen to 43 million views? Well, he started off with 8,000 5 years ago. In fact, the reason why I know this is because he just released a video that talks about his negative 5-year-old self. So 5 years ago in 2015, he was a high schooler. And he had 8,000 subscribers, and he was talking to himself about how he wants 1 million subscribers within 5 years. Well, he got it. He has 43 million subscribers, and I want to know why. How did he get there? So we have to have a better understanding of the YouTube algorithm in this case. But for now, let's look at this website. This website's called Socialblade. And it allows us to get a better insight into how fast creators grow and how much the money they make. So the thumbnail said that MrBeast makes $1 million, $1.5 million a month, and that is correct, possibly. So what we can look at here are some numbers. And what we see here is that the daily averages of how much money he makes is somewhere between 3,000, very unlikely, since his content is geared towards a more lucrative CPM. So CPM is how much money you make per 1,000 views or million views. So $50,000 is the high end. And then what we have here is the last 30 days, he's made somewhere between $80,000 and $1 million. So imagine making that much money. Graham Stephan is a notable contender. He has talked about how he makes over $100,000 a month. Of course, he does not have anywhere near the size of MrBeast's channel. So let's talk about the algorithm, if we'd be so kind. Let me switch back to this. Rajwal says, late as always. No, you're not late, Rajwal. You're just on time. Welcome. So, and just for fun, let's look at Kenji. Kenji, B-. I wouldn't say that. 92,000 subscribers. Ooh, look at this video. Everyone should look at this video. So, what Socialblade does is it tracks exactly how fast you're growing. So you can see here that Ken has been gathering 300 subscribers a day, roughly. And then he is also gathering somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 views a day. And this means that he's making somewhere up to $50 a day, possibly. And that is true. In fact, in our interview, you will know exactly how much Ken makes, but he actually surpasses this estimated earning in this Socialblade. So imagine how much money MrBeast is actually making if Ken is surpassing the estimated earnings here. Okay, so that's all that there is. Let's continue talking about the YouTube algorithm. So the way that the YouTube algorithm works is that it takes into consideration a lot of different features in terms of the recommender system. The recommender system is something that looks at your past behavior, and that's free data that you've given YouTube, and it allows you to, Prajwal says, you're past 1,000 subs. Thank you. Thanks, Prajwal. Nope, what did I say? So a recommender system takes in users that behave like you. It takes in the freshness of the video, so how long it's been on the platform. It takes in the diversity of the video, and it takes into consideration how likely you are to click it. And that brings down to two major metrics in the YouTube algorithm. The first one is impressions CTR. The second one is watch time. Impression CTR is a measurement of how much you are able to show someone a thumbnail and how likely they are to click it. That's why CTR stands for click-through rate. Yalapa says, congrats. Hector says, congrats. Thank you, guys. Oh my God, you guys are all here to say congrats. We can make this an AMA. It's just not branded like an AMA right now. I'm going to continue talking unless people have questions for me. Ask me anything in the chat below, and I will derail this conversation about recommender systems. Muthu says, congrats, thank you. Rosa says, you should do more Discord data. These are my favorite videos. Yes, I will. Prepare for Pandas versus SQL Part 2. Rosa. And thank you. That means a lot. I love Discord data. So the recommender system is essentially taking into consideration what a person will likely click on and then proceed to then watch a lot of other YouTube videos or perhaps just watch this one very long YouTube video. So that's why the algorithm is starting ever since it started preferring watch time. People have created these 10-minute long videos. So that's kind of like the minimum. And then you'll notice that a lot of my videos recently have been under 10 minutes, but they've been performing better, right? So the impression CTR has been improving, and the watch time obviously suffers because my videos are shorter. But it's a fine balance of getting people to click, having the recommender system pick up my videos and say, these videos are videos that people want to see, and then try and push it to other people. Now, a lot of other data scientists have covered in length the extent of the YouTube algorithm, and Kenji has also covered a great system about how to crack the YouTube algorithm, and that is still not enough, right? Just knowing the metrics that go inside how to measure a YouTube video doesn't really show how someone can rise from 8,000 subscribers to 43 million subscribers. So we need to dig deeper. So let's go to, this is Kenji. but let's go to MrBeast's channel. YouTube. I am not a robot. That was machine learning. So, gotta love MrBeast. So this video came out on the 4th. What day is it today? So this is 2 days ago.
This video.
He has 18 million views on that video. So is that normal for him? Well, 18 million is actually on the low side. I guess it makes sense because he just came out with it. But he consistently reaches his cap. So this was a week ago. This is 21 million. And he oh, sorry, you guys can't see any of that. So let me make my head smaller. My head is so big. So let's be an analyst and look at any patterns. So we see that his thumbnails are all very stylized, right? We have a very specific looks of him smiling at the camera and then doing something super duper, rare and fun. But here are some of the trends that you can already start to see. I'm just gonna make sure if you guys are trying to talk to me. Nope. So some of the trends that you can see immediately is that there's money in almost every single thumbnail, if not the dollar sign itself, but the very presence of actual money. So here he is breaking into a house and leaving $50,000. Here he is having $100,000 worth this mystery key. Here's an island that's worth $800,000. Here's $1 million in lottery tickets. So he's a philanthropist, so that's kind of his brand, but that's actually the reverse, right? He understands that money is how to grind YouTube views. That's actually a concept and a topic that people would click on and be able to relate to, and something that is irresistible for people to continue watching. So something about his videos is that he has incredible engagement and keeps people watching longer than much longer than people are able to think about what they're watching, right? Because when you try to consider that YouTube is for some people mainly an educational tool, you end up thinking about, well, I'm gonna go on MrBeast's channel and I'm gonna look at him giving $1 million of food to people in need. That's not what I came here to learn, but it's just so darn hard to click away. So that's one thing, that's one topic that really gets the views. Make sure that you're talking about money. And there's actually 2 more topics that is essentially grinding the algorithm in order to get you more views. Of course, his philanthropy obviously helps. Let me see if you guys are asking any questions. Ask me questions, guys. This is your time. Ask me anything. Or else I'll keep talking about MrBeast. And I will. So MrBeast, let's talk about his origin story. So if we scroll all the way down to a year ago, even a year ago, he was still doing philanthropy. Hello, can I scroll down? So I just passed 1,000 subscribers, which is super exciting. Thank all of you that made that possible. I'm not even able to make community posts yet. That might come in a day or two, a week or two. The main idea is that is something that only is given to 1,000 subscriber plus people, but it also comes with a lag. Okay, so MrBeast, before the actual philanthropy, he started getting his fame by doing these challenges. So here's him saying Logan Paul 100,000 times. This video is 17 hours long. Here's a compilation of every challenge he's ever done, apparently at the exact same time for 24 hours. Here's him spinning a fidget spinner for 24 hours, even though the video is only 12 hours. Here's him reading the longest English word, 190,000 characters. But that took him 2 hours to read? Fidget spinner. Okay, anyway, so he's doing these challenges, which at the time, at this exact time, 3 years ago, was cracking the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm would look at watch time almost exclusively. And so it would divert all of the traffic to him after they realized that people would stay longer than the average length of a YouTube video, which, pop quiz, does anybody know what it is? It's 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Rosa's asking me a question. So let's see. Rosa says, do you use more neural nets or traditional ML algorithms? Rosa, neural nets scare stakeholders. They can be useful, but almost never on a stakeholder exposed end. And then Yalapa says, what's the main thing that keeps the engagement on YouTube on an average? Yalapa, great question. And that is what I'm covering here. But since you guys were so nice to already stay for, how long has it been? How long has it been? 16 minutes with me, and I want to give you guys the actual answers. So money, 2, other YouTubers for the recommender system, and then 3 is the ability to do trends. So that's really the 3 things that creates engagement. 1, money gets people in the door. It's one of the biggest factors for a high CTR. So that's the number of views on a specific video. For example, my $0 data science Bible. It really has nothing to do with money. It's just the fact that it's free. But free would have been a keyword that would have gotten me a lot fewer views than $0. So that's actually what drove all of those views, and now that's the best performing video on my channel. Trends. So I did the day in the life of a YouTuber trend. So there you go. That got me a day in the life of a data scientist, just past 1,000 views. So that's one of the second best performing videos on my channel. It does have more time on the channel, so that's a freshness indicator of how fresh the video is, which means I need to come up with a new day in the life of a data scientist video. And then finally, other YouTubers. So you might have noticed that on Kenji's channel, we have a Smack Data Scientist Say, Stuff Data Scientist Say video that went live on his channel, and now it produced the best performing video on my channel just yesterday. So other YouTubers definitely helps. Also, that was a trend, right? Not a hot trend, but definitely a trend as well. So money, other YouTubers, trend. Now that you understand what I was going to say, we can just transform this into a Ask Me Anything. Of course, it was always an Ask Me Anything, but if no one asks me anything, then I'm going to continue my MrBeast analysis. I'm going to keep my eye on if you guys are asking me anything. So before he did these challenges that totally abused the YouTube algorithm, to his benefit, it definitely wasn't because he maliciously did it. He just understood it, which is very admirable to an evil genius standard. What we have here, oh look, so 4 years ago he got to 100,000. Okay, interesting. This is actually kind of fun to find out his trajectory. I think Socialblade could, but I don't think Socialblade was even invented 5 years ago. All right, so this is July 8th, 2016. So within a year, he was able to go from 8,000 subscribers to 100,000 subscribers. And then from there, he got to 1 million at some point. What we're looking at here is MrBeast goes camping, didn't go wrong, didn't go sexual. That's fun because it takes care of trends. And once again, the most important part of CTR is, and you might think this is obvious, but people don't really think about it very much, is the thumbnail and the title. The title and the thumbnail. The thumbnail needs to support the title, and the thumbnail oftentimes ends up indicating the general feel of the channel. So you'll notice that down here, not a lot of his face, right? He's not branding his face because at this point, nobody really knew his face. His face wasn't a brand, so he had to actually get a trend going here without his face. So over here, he says gone sexual, 500 like goal. and then he wanted to take advantage of that trend because this video performed really well, and then he wanted to say it didn't go sexual over here. Before he did challenges, he actually did entirely random educational videos, believe it or not. So he did, let's see, ad blocker for Chrome and mobile, should you use it? And then why I sold my PS4, not a gaming channel? I hate YouTubers that ask for likes. Ooh, MrBeast. Uh-oh. Am I Ian from Smosh? So you understand that he has been at this for a really long time, doing completely irrelevant things. Sultana is asking how to go trending. Sultana, what a good question. Or perhaps you're just stating that his channel is a crash course on how to go trending. Good point. MrBeast is a school of trending. Of course, MrBeast is really just a person that kept hitting things and trying things and not being afraid to completely estrange his audience, like I'm doing with you guys right now. This isn't properly data science, although I am talking about it through a data science lens. Ultimately, it's something that I'm passionate about, understanding this field of, how to go viral, virality, marketing yourself, creating a presence online. I think that's interesting to me. Let's see. I'm gonna do an AMA next week because I am not as brave as MrBeast. I am afraid of what I put on this channel. That's why I started a second channel. If you guys are here right now, go and subscribe to that second channel. It's called DataLIVE Andrew Show, and it might change its name. Okay, so now you see that the channel's entire feel has completely changed. So you're looking at entirely blue, just simply made thumbnails. You probably didn't even have Photoshop. This looks like just PowerPoints. My channel, 100,000 subs with no videos. How much does Smosh make? And then, it gets even harder to see with your eyes here. How much does Markiplier make? 2016. Money problems. He's already understanding at this point that money is the way to try to get views. How much money did Psy make? How much money does Vanos Gaming make? So he was originally, I guess, branding himself 6 years ago as how much do YouTubers make? I guess that was popular back then. It's still popular now. Just the meta concept of teaching people how to blow up is a popular trending concept. Let's see now. Yep, I is best at this game, so he's just doing unapologetic gaming. Does spam work? What is this even asking? Okay, so this is just him talking with no camera while he's playing a game. How far does the rabbit hole go? So this is now, so this is where he was creating his custom thumbnails, and now he's just taking a YouTube recommended screenshot of a piece of his footage. And now I have no idea. Oh, his first video, 8 years ago. Worst Minecraft saw trap ever. Now, MrBeast, believe it or not, since he was a high schooler 5 years ago, is younger than me. So that doesn't feel good. But that is something to consider, that anybody at all can start making $1 million a month if your name is MrBeast. Rosa says, do you think it's a good time to grow a data science channel, or is it super saturated? Rosa, no, it's not saturated. I meant to say, yes, start one. My brain is cluttered. I meant to say yes, please start a data science channel, because I don't think it's saturated at all. There was a clear gap in the market for people explaining concepts in a fun way, because there's this alluring draw in the creator space to go towards comedy and go towards trending topics, right? Because one, it's baked into the algorithm, right? Comedy and trending topics are already like what. Just consider how does data science fit into this money, other YouTubers, and trends algorithm, right? I'm trying my best to include other YouTubers in collaborations and stuff like that because that gets us into the recommender system and then includes a lot of other YouTubers. We kind of lift each other up in that sense because then their videos include me and my videos include them. Then we're behaving, Mr. YouTube, please. At the other side, right, live streaming also provides engagement. There's a dozen of you talking to me right now, and that makes me feel like I'm directly answering questions about the topics that you guys want to answer. Hello, says Hun Mobile Legends. Hello, Hun. Hello. Sultana says, what are the criteria of a YouTube video to go viral? That is a question that can be answered by this. Money, other YouTubers, and trends. So let's talk about a viral video. Let's use Kenji as an example. Sorry, Ken. I did not ask for his permission. But let's see what happens if you put Kenji in the search bar. Kenji. Oh, look. Data scientists say. And that's me. But no, the trending video that I'm talking about. Oh, interesting. It doesn't show it's his first trending video. Well, if you click on his channel, go subscribe to Kenji. He's almost at 100,000. So close. Popular uploads. It's the video called How I Would Learn Data Science If I Had to Start Over.
Hello everyone, Ken here, back with another video for you today.
Wow, his hair was so long. Okay, so Ken's videos are informative. They are paced in a very clearly educational way. This video is the best performing on his channel. He gets somewhere around 5 to 10,000 views on a, I would say, run-of-the-mill performing video, and then somewhere between 20,000 to 40,000 on a well-performing video, something that is shorter, more digestible. But this video, 8 minutes long, is surpassed 500,000 views. Let's look at let's look at the metadata before I make any judgments about how this became a trending video. So we have the tags here. So this is what YouTubers can add to supplement their search results, because searchability ultimately ends up being a huge metric in how your video goes viral. So let's see if his tags are searchable. Data science. Okay, some people could be just putting data science into the search bar. Kenji, of course, I just put Kenji into the search bar, so that could also happen. Machine learning. Okay, these three are great buzzwords, and people could just be putting them directly into the search bar, but YouTube actually weighs down less specific tags. Your tags have to be kind of, and I hate tags. I don't like writing tags because it's kind of like a 4D chess game where you have to play by yourself. But over here, we get a lot more specific tags. So how I would learn data science and how to data science. These are better tags. To get a better understanding of someone who really kicks butt at tags, who's the person that I didn't prepare any of this, as you might have known. You can see all my subscribers here. Vanessa Lau is someone who I'm not affiliated with her at all. I would love to do a collab with her, but she does really good tags on her videos. So she does, let's look at her popular uploads. Popular uploads. Oh, she doesn't even have a section for popular uploads. But then how do I know which? Okay, I should put a section for my popular uploads. Sorry if I'm missing your question. I'm just trying to get to her tags. So she has an intro too. Now look at her tags. How to create thumbnails for YouTube. How to create thumbnails that get more views. How to create thumbnails on YouTube that get views. How to make better YouTube thumbnails. How to make custom YouTube thumbnails on YouTube. This is so specific, and yet this is a better practice. You might think that stuffing your keywords with a bunch of different, possibly adjacent related things would be the best way to go. Actually, no. I have so many more. Is 9:30 a better time for you guys? What, people just started showing up. actually the way to be able to have a well-performing video in terms of tags is to have very specific searches that people could possibly get, because then YouTube weighs your very specific tag way higher, and that helps. Okay, let me see. I missed some questions. Prajwal says, thank you, Prajwal. Sultana says, big fan of Ken too. Me too. Hun says, I think data science is generally popular nowadays. In my opinion, channels that glorify data science make a lot more views than those channels that actually give credible data science info. A good example would be Suraj. Oh, Suraj. Yes, Suraj. Boy, I would love to talk to Suraj and get his take on what happened here. What happened to his channel and what happened to his general life. Visam says, is Socialblade a web scraper? Have you built a web scraper? If so, do you have any tips or tricks for building one? Yes, I do. Socialblade is probably using web scraping, although they could just be using some YouTube API. I have built a web scraper, and I will make a video series about it soon. If, and that is with the big caveat of if I don't suddenly end up going into entertainment instead. So entertainment is where a lot of people have gone, and it kind of rubs the tech community the wrong way, because it's the people that kind of brought you up, and Jarvis Johnson, Joe Matek, Joshua Fluke kind of still does education, I suppose, but like certainly people who have tried to do education, like Michael Reeves, no longer is able to like sustain that. It's not incredibly scalable. Every time you do one of these educational videos, the people that want to get these questions answered are limited, versus the people that want to see you are always going to be in ample supply. Am I lagging? You guys would let me know if I'm lagging, right? Hopefully I'm not. So that's the main idea, is that you are pitting the creators on this network where creators are already getting a raw deal with half the AdSense revenue. So then they have to kind of go out of their way and go to other platforms, or at the very least other revenue sources, because most people want to ultimately become a creator for their entire life, right? Data science is an interesting halfway point, because data scientists just make so darn much, right? Their salaries as a baseline kind of makes it non-intuitive to switch to creating their full-time. For example, let's see how much money you would have to make in order for you to want to switch. So obviously, if you were making MrBeast amount of money, then yeah, you would switch. But let's see, Joma has stopped making YouTube videos because he seems to be making somewhere between $400 to $6,000, probably closer to $6,000 in the last month. So $6,000 in the last month is not enough money. That's because he hasn't been, he's probably like a senior software engineer now, or maybe like a tech lead. But so he's essentially making, $300,000, somewhere around that total comp. So there's no way that he would want to, continue playing this algorithm game for $6,000. I'm sure it satisfied him in terms of his creating, his desire to create. But it's probably not going to pay the bills. Now, speaking of tech lead, let's look at tech lead. I think tech lead has way fewer subscribers than Joma. And he makes roughly the same amount of money, actually more money. So he gets more views because, again, Joma is no longer a YouTuber. So tech lead, someone who just made $1 million in one day, and his dad thinks he's depressed. he is full-time YouTuber, so he's full-time retired at this point. But he certainly doesn't work as a tech lead anymore. Ex Facebook, ex Google. Let's see the questions we have. Hun says, I'll be looking forward to that web scraper video. Yes. Thank you, Hun. Hector says, same here. I too am looking forward to it. Hun says, Joma recently started a masterclass with his anime video. Do you know anyone who is buying his masterclass? Tech lead is a meme, correct. What's up, Kadar? Rosa says, how hard is it to get a DS job in SF? Is it expensive to live there, as people say? Rosa, rent goes like this. 1 bedroom in SF, 20, I would say 2,200 because of the pandemic right now. Probably like cheapest possible, right? And then 2 bedroom in SF, you can probably get somewhere between like a 30, you can probably get like a 3,200 maybe, 3,200. I don't know. I don't live in SF. I live in the South Bay, but 2 bedroom in SF, like it goes up to like $4,800, and then you can just continue to get roommates from there. Zeal says hi. What's up, Zeal? Hey. Is it hard to get a DS job in SF? Yes. It's the best paying in the entire nation. So you're essentially you're looking at somewhere in like not even a low 6-figure salary as a baseline. So at total comp, you're probably going to be incredibly well supported, even considering like a manager, someone who is of a non-data science role, a manager from like an analytics or a what am I trying to say? A manager from like a professional services job would have, you know, maybe like 100,000, 110,000 out of the Bay, right? Maybe they've worked like 10 years in industry. That's your starting salary, and that's not even total comp. That's your starting base in the SF area. So yes, it's hard, but that's why we're creating these free education videos, so you can get a job in the Bay. Hopefully that helps. Yalapa says, which is the website to use to check YouTube earning of other YouTubers? Yalapa, that is Socialblade. Hun says, unfortunately not. I don't really know anyone who takes this class. Would you take my class if I made one? Haha, JK, but what if? Okay, Kadar says, thanks you for your suggestion on learning material you told in Zoom Meet. Oh, cool. So Sultana says, can you share your journey in short on how you ended up becoming a data scientist? What is your background? I can. Sultana, I have an interview on Ken's channel. I'll link it here. This is becoming an AMA. Ken. DataLIVE. Is that going to be the first video that comes up? No, it's not even like the 4th video that comes up. It's not even... Ha-cha-cha-cha. Live streaming is so fun. Now, one day we'll be able to do super chat, so get your wallets ready. Haha, just kidding, but what if... here is this video. Okay, and then Kadar says, I would love to, brother. Me too. Oh, hey, it's Rhea. Thanks for joining. Ask me anything. Hunt says, I would be interested. You heard it here. There's a market for my non-existent data science course. Hunt says, I am actually a DS student in Singapore. I really enjoy your videos, entertaining and useful info. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa, Hun. Hun, Mobile Legends. Please come on the DataLIVE Andrew show and tell your story. Use my Calendly here. And all of the rest of you, you're invited to use my Calendly. And then you will talk to me and find out what kind of person I am. Prajwal says, while applying for a job in the US, is it really important to live in that city already? Some people say recruiters prefer people living there, or can you, so that they can avoid the relocation cost. Correct. Although this is not an issue for bigger companies. So, and by bigger company, I mean like a FANG company, right? A FANG company doesn't give two flips about where you're coming from, because the relocation cost is going to be like somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000 anyway. And some companies actually might end up giving you that money as a lump sum. Why am I losing my voice? Has anyone tried the spicy chicken nuggets? This is not an ad. I'm not famous enough to be sponsored, but those nuggets are pretty good meme quality. What was I saying? Nanomano says, hello. Hello. Waiting for your course. Yes, Kadar. Kadar, me too. I am also waiting for my course. Oh, Nanomano is learning requests in Beautiful Soup in Python right now. Nice. Nice, Nanomano. That will be so helpful. Rasam says, do you think... Okay, sorry. I missed a question earlier. Oh, yeah. Recruiters. So, Prajwal... to answer your question, yes, it matters for smaller companies, but just go for it. Right? What do you have to lose? Wink? Okay. Visam says, do you think an NLP project is too niche for recruiters to hire? I don't know that. No. No. Too niche? No. NLP is one of the projects that recruiters understand. So yes, NLP is one of my go-tos when I talk about projects, because that's the easiest for a recruiter to wrap their heads around. Rosa says, for big companies, is it even possible to get an interview by applying online, not having a referral? Rosa, I did it. I did it. It's luck of the draw. But also, tell a compelling story. I'm coming out on Thursday with an interview about compelling storytelling for students on the DataLIVE Andrew show. So let me just now plug that. This is the life of a YouTuber. I just have to constantly plug. You know, people that I really look up to, YouTubers, they don't plug nearly as, they don't live stream, first of all, but they don't plug nearly as much as I do. So I'm starting to feel like I don't know, should I do fewer live streams? Do you guys like live streams? I don't know. Here, subscribe. Hold on, is this right? Subscribe to this channel. You won't be sorry. Hurry. Okay, here's the link. Why is it so hard to get this link? Whoa, it's long. Sorry guys, wait, give me a sec. Give me a sec, hold on. Okay. YouTube channel. YouTube channel. Second YouTube channel. There we go. Okay. All right, I missed something. Malay, will this stream be saved so we can check it later? Yes. Yes. I've done a lot more streams and they're unlisted. So if you want to see a bunch more streams, they're in the playlist called, so go to my playlists and they're called Cracking the Data Science Interview Live. I do like 6 40-minute episodes on that. Cracking Live. So if you want to see me unedited, it's I don't know if it's good footage, but please watch it. Live streaming is fun, Hun says. That's why we love you for the live streams. Thank you, Prajwal. Michael says, I love these live streams. Prajwal, Michael. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot, actually, for me to wake up on Tuesday and get through these live streams. Tuesdays at 9 a.m., honestly, is the best time for this so far. What was I going to do just a second ago? I was going to take a screenshot of Hun's comment, because wholesome. I'm a student here in data science in Singapore. Wholesome. Can you guys see that I'm doing that? Uh-oh, that's kind of awkward. Is it awkward? Okay. Sultana says there, and okay. So Sultana says I'm from India. If I would apply for a position of data scientist in Google or any other FANG company, what are the probabilities that I would get a job? Are there biases between people living? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Here are the metrics to consider. 1. Sponsorship of visa. 2. English as a native language. 3. Time to ramp. So time to ramp is a concept that considers how easily does a entry-level data scientist, software engineer, product manager, someone who needs to ultimately be working by themselves, doing their own projects and not having someone hold their hand the whole time, how easily can they start being an independent individual contributor? So that has no bearing on where you live. So if you can become a coachable person, if you can become an intuitive thinker, if you can start explaining your thought process, and you ultimately become a better communicator because of that, that is something that no one can take away from you, right? English as a native language is harder to crack. And the hardest thing to crack is sponsorship of visa, right? Companies will always ask, do you need to be authorized to work here, and do we ever need to sponsor you in the future? So that's the reason why those two questions are related, is because some people can be authorized to work here for the next 2 years, but then they will need sponsorship. So that's why it's kind of like, hey, don't trick us. We want to know if you can't live here in the next 2 years. So sponsorship of visa is a lengthy process, but it also can run into some red tape when it comes to successfully keeping talent in the company, right? For example, in the process of getting a green card for you, you are essentially beholden to this company. You can't leave because then you have to go home. This is a hot take, but this is kind of a modern bounded servitude, because an immigrant cannot leave while their green card is being applied for. So that's something that the company thinks about, right? If you are a good enough talent and they want to keep you, they'll just drag out that process and take the risk on you, because one of the risks they run is that as soon as you get your green card, you're just going to leave, right? Which is totally possible. They have no incentive to pay you anything more during that process. They could be giving you, adjusted for inflation, little bonuses year by year, but ultimately that pales in comparison to the amount of money you can make if you switched industries. And that's something that a native-born data scientist just has a unfair advantage on, right? Someone who lives here, and if you're not learning data science, this is what you're missing out on, because a lot of people want to move here to become a data scientist, and they end up being stuck in these bounded servitude contracts where they're getting something in return. They're getting their green card. But ultimately, it ends up being like, at what cost? So if you aren't a data scientist yet, and you from here, and you speak native English, and you are coachable, and you love solving logic and getting paid, learn data science. You can do it in 6 months. Nanomano says, what do I eat usually? What do I eat? I eat mighty hot sauce. My roommate is kind enough to leave me half a, this is a Uncrustable Smucker's peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It is quite cold now because I've been live streaming for 50 minutes. I usually eat like rice and chicken. I'm boring. Your video about resume content was really good. Thank you, Prasanna. If you haven't seen it yet, that's on the Data Professor channel. He and I do interesting collabs. CEO of Google is also from India, so will I get any soft corner from him? Just kidding. Thanks for your answer. Yes, the CEO of Google is from India. And then there's the idea of tribalism, right? Is that ultimately people need to pick people to promote. So if your company has this idea that we want the in-group to be promoted, and then they pick up only the in-group, and say only these kind of people get to be promoted, then you get to see this inherent toxicity in a company that doesn't really that talks about diversity and inclusion but doesn't show it. So that's dangerous, and I wouldn't recommend any company think about moving into that space of trying to get the right people in the right seats. Like the right person should be about merit, and it should be about fit. It should never be fit because you don't fit a specific demographic. Nanomano says, I think I need a green card marriage. Yes. If that means, if green is for go and card is for I love you with romance and no other reason. You guys are laughing. Hun says, gonna try to apply to Bloomberg's data internship in Singapore. So interesting. Bloomberg. Is he still mayor? No. Was he still running for president? America's funny. Okay, so it looks like no questions right now. Let's go back to MrBeast. MrBeast, look how fast he was getting subs.
Like some planned speech. The earliest I would have numbers.
Wow.
Oh snap! 3 more.
So this is back when YouTube allowed their API.
1 more. Oh! I got it. Yes. Oh my goodness.
That was me yesterday, getting 1,000 subs. YouTube is just fun. I think it's fun. I don't think there's anything quite like it. And it may not be fair all the time. And people certainly have a bone to pick with it at times. But it's just a interesting way to get your thoughts out into the field. And that's why I want to go on Medium. Will you guys all follow me to Medium if I start writing articles there? Please say yes. Yalapa, So Tana says, what about working remotely in such companies or any other related company? Hold on, what is your first question about? The first question is from, oh yeah. That's tricky. We are in like the once in a lifetime change for remote workers, because ultimately it starts becoming like if all companies, like a lot of companies are talking about their employees working remote forever. So in that case, yeah, you could totally work remote in India. You will be compensated accordingly. Companies are already cutting pay for employees who work in, how do I say this? Less competitive locations. For example, if you are making $200,000 in the Bay and then you move to the Midwest to be close to your parents, your company, maybe not right now, but they will ultimately have to adjust your salary, because you're living a much lower cost of living, and if you're living with your parents, then you're paying no rent. So they're not going to consider that, but they will consider the competitiveness of the landscape there. That was actually how one of my offers I was like, I'm going to go with this other offer in California. And they're like, you can live in California and we'll match the other offer. Ooh, I stopped streaming for a second. The server has crashed, perhaps. Even though it says excellent connection. Is it an excellent connection or not? Are you guys still there? Oh, yeah, nope, that was just me. Weird, sorry. Anyway. Michael says, okay, sorry. So Yalapa says, what would be the best roadmap for data science for beginners? Yalapa, my $0 data science Bible. And now I gotta find it. I just gotta keep all these videos out and about. Data science for $0. Okay, so let me know when you're finished with all the stuff in the data science Bible, because I'm about to create like a $1, $2 data science Bible. How to make more money. Joju, hello. Thanks, Rhea. Nope, Muthu. Okay. Michael says, let's say hypothetically I had a week to learn SQL for an interview. What's the plan if I'm a full-time student? Okay, Michael. Let's do this. Day 1 to 3. Joins where versus having aggregations. That's count, max, min, etc. Okay, that's day 1. Day 1 to 3. Day 4 to 5 would be just on window functions. Day 6 to 7 is actually, I think you're done. Day 6 to 7 is strange cases, like when you have to use modulo, rank, partition, etc. So that is how I would do it. How would I learn it? How, lead code, and YouTube. You can easily do it. That's something I firmly believe that anyone can learn SQL in 24 hours. You probably would need a person helping, like me, which is why I am actually a coach. So if you go on this website, you can book me for coaching. Book me for coaching. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. Hun says, yes, I enjoy articles in Medium a lot, especially towards data science. It would be cool to post it there too. Yes, I will. Michael says, I'll read your Medium posts. Don't worry, thank you. What was your first data science job salary? Nano, 6 figures. I'm hesitant to talk about money because of what Kenji has told me about, staying positive about the entire industry. If you want to know what data science salaries look like, there's blind and there's levels. So levels.fyi will tell you all about how much money data scientists make. Now, according to Jay, it is perhaps overblown. But sometimes you can't be true. You can't be sure about everything. Sultana says, what about Udemy? What about Udemy? Udemy's fun. Udemy is not free. So that's why I would not use it unless you had money, which I will cover in a video I was recording just before I started the live stream. Hun says, I almost vomited blood doing SQL ETL. Oh, I laughed. Jojo says, do we need to install SQL for learning it? You need to install, you don't need to install SQL, but you need to install something that manipulates a database. So try SQLite in Python. Try that. Michael says, bet I have day 1 down, but it's been a month. Effective data science projects to start with? Prasanna. Good question. I like effective. Effective data science questions. Hold on. I'm gonna save. How far was Michael's question? Michael, how lead code in YouTube? And then my channel. What was Michael's question? Let's say hypothetically. Let's say hypothetically I had a something. Okay. And then what was the question here? Effective data science projects to start with. Great questions, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these screenshots, but I'm taking them. Okay, so good question. Try Kenji or Data Professor's full playlists on end-to-end PS projects. Try that to start. Passing the buck. Hun says, especially for date time functions, those are pretty cancer. Yeah. Joju says, do we need very good at Python to do data science projects? Yeah, very good is relative, but yes, with a caveat. Ultimately, it ends up being like, how good do you need to be at Python to do data science projects? And you don't know until you start a project. So the best thing that I can say is, do you need to be really good at Python to do data science projects? You need to do a lot of data science projects to be good at data science projects. So just learning Python in a vacuum is not going to help you figure out the scary real life data that exists out there. So yeah, do some projects today. What do you have to lose? Your project's not going to turn out perfect, or you're going to be slower at it than normal. At least you finished one at the end of the day. So there you go. Hunt says, you could try out Mode for SQL. It's free and good for strengthening your concepts. It provides a free integrated dev to type SQL code, as far as I know. Mode SQL? Mode.com. Oh, is this the thing that Tina's associated with? Yeah, go to mode.com. Check out Tina Huang's channel. She is very cool. Check out Tina's channel too. In my featured channels section. If you're just joining us, my name is Andrew. I've been streaming for an hour. I'm gonna toast the sandwich one day, and I'm gonna eat it. But for now, we were talking about why MrBeast is so darn successful at YouTube. Plus, this is a thinly veiled guise of just another Ask Me Anything, which we'll be doing every week on Tuesday, so no worries there. I would say I'm getting better at live streaming. It's kind of awkward in the beginning, but now I feel like in the groove. Joju says, do I need to go in depth for each ML algorithm? That's, again, relative. No. You should be able to explain pros and cons of each algorithm and explain like I'm 5 to children or non-technical adults. Is that too edgy? Joju says, because I'm stuck in a project dealing with linear regression. Linear regression is giving you trouble. That is a conundrum. Let me see. Top 10 ML algorithms. So this is going to be the inspiration for an actual video that I'm going to release about top 10 ML algorithms. So look forward to that. But for now, you can just read it. The very first one is linear regression. Jojo says, I applied ridge and lasso, but my accuracy is going down. Oof. Maybe the data is not linear. You need a linear association before you apply linear regression. So that's a good question. Jojo, you got the questions. He's got them questions. Okay, so what do you guys think? We have almost wrapped up today. So end of the day, let me just end you with some MrBeast knowledge. So MrBeast by no means is the most subscribed person on YouTube, but it certainly is one of the most well-paid YouTubers. He is well known for putting everything that he makes back into his YouTube channel. And other YouTubers do it too, ZHC, and that's all I can name right now. But the idea is that he now ends up being a household item for philanthropy. And each time he ups the ante in terms of the amount of money he spends, he gets the returns in views. So it's a formidable algorithm. But as you can see, so in the past he was getting 44, 73, 52 million views. Now we're looking at 28, 34, 28. He's not even hitting 40 million anymore. So there is a diminishing return. Of course, these are fresher videos, so you can't really see whether or not these videos will get more views in the future. But a month-old video, in my experience, isn't going to just shoot up unless the algorithm picks it up. So there is a diminishing return in terms of how much money you can spend to get the attention of people. Oh, look, follow or I sue. That's kind of fun. I should do that. Anyway, so that's MrBeast in a nutshell. Have money, money in your content, other YouTubers in your content, and trending topics in your content. If you have these three, the trifecta of how to go viral, how to have high CTR, and how to have high watch time and session time, you will be a successful YouTuber. Oh, people are watching. Joju says, confused with standardization and normalization. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? There's still so many of you watching. Any more questions? I always hate to leave it here because there's people that want to do stuff. Would you guys like if we just like had lunch together? Like if I just like bust out the mighty hot sauce and we just like sat down and ate? And I'm mostly done talking about MrBeast. Let me know if this was helpful in the comments below while I have your attention. Go ahead and tell one friend, just one friend this week, to check out the channel. They don't have to like data science. They could just be someone who is looking for a place to listen to a creator that they enjoy. That could be me. I make some content. So let me know what type of content is your favorite in the comments of this video. I like how you guys are engaging in the chat, but what I want to see is some darn comments. If you can be a regular commenter, an interactor, someone who engages in the channel, that would mean the world to me. Light Yagami says, just want to say this live stream is more effective than my 7 hours course. Hey, that's a good comment right there. I agree. Sometimes it just takes listening to one person who has a little bit of insider knowledge. Bisam says, always more questions when it comes to DS. And Joju says, my system doesn't support Anaconda. Joju, I will talk to you over on Discord if you're part of the Kenji Discord community. But again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for being here. It means the world to be able to be part of this community. It means the world to be able to answer your questions. And same time next week, or roughly the same time next week, I will catch you again. And this is me saying my last word. In case there's one last question up here. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Peace.